Hey, welcome to Breaking the Block. I have three co-hosts, and I'm going to go ahead and let them start. Mama Maggie first, then Dawn, then Stephanie, in a clockwise. At least to me, it's a clockwise position. Go for it.
Hello. I muted. I did unmute myself. Okay, I'm having a moment. Hello, I'm Mama Maggie Ward. I need more coffee. Okay, we're good now. I'm Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine overcomer, and one of the more prolific writers you've never heard of. This week, you can get How to Become a Crazy Cat Lady to Survive the Zompocalypse. This is the last week of the sale that is going on for Zombie Survival Awareness Month. So, yay! I am also one of the part-time hosts and co-hosts of Breaking the Block Sunday Morning Chaos and Writerly Chat. And welcome.
Good morning, Dawn McClellan. I don't get on here very often. I'm usually in Rachel's shadows in her corner. I'm her co-author to Dragon Tasker series, and that's about it for me. I don't write anything else. I'm just the shadow writer.
Hi everyone. My name's Stephanie. I sometimes make it to Breaking a Block when I'm awake. I have some books out that I think they're okay. I don't know. We'll see. And I'm getting ready to publish some more books set in Texas where I currently live. And I think that's it. I'm here. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. If you don't know, I'm Rachel D. Adams, co-author of all of the Dragon Tasker series and Dragon Tasker universe stuff with Dawn. And I also have a Substack called Aggressively Helpful Writing Advice. And, just a bunch of other things because I'm a writer and I write all kinds of stuff. So there's no telling what you'll find. Also, I just wanted to let everybody know I've got merch for Pride that I just dropped with the dragon, the little dragon. I was asked about it because I had this hoodie on, and I was at some other Pride events and stuff, and they were just like, "What do you mean you don't have that?" I'm so sorry. I do now. So there we go. Also, we have Ava joining us. We have Liz joining us. Let me get back up here to the top because I'm seeing things in the opposite direction. We were discussing things that have to do with what would you call that platform? A platform that contains book reviews, stuff like Goodreads. Maggie, I can't hear you. Goodreads, BookBub, Storygraph.
I have the meowy one in my lap, and so I keep muting it so you guys don't have to listen to her talk. Goodreads and Book by Amazon, all of the reviews tend to fall back into Goodreads. It's a platform that has existed since the 2000s. Like back in the days when it was like analog internet and stuff like that. And you could tell by looking at the landing pages that it was written back in the day.
Yes. They do not update much, y'all.
They do not update much. Now, I tend to avoid Goodreads because back in 2019, I had a friend targeted by another author, and they literally got a couple thousand of their Wattpad fangirls to go bash my friend. And then there was another problem with Wattpad before they even started trying to pretend to have security. Somebody stole several hundred books and published them on Amazon, and the Goodreads automatically linked that person with the stolen books to a Goodreads page with author books from 80 authors. And we fought for years to get all of our books back and to get the Goodreads page get down. And I finally gave up on Goodreads when they were like, well, it's not fair for us to take down reviews that were left in good faith. But they weren't left in good faith. And those book reviews are on books that person did not own. And so I'm not a fan of Goodreads, but I have problems because I don't curate my Goodreads page. And there's a bunch of books on my Goodreads page, like Tarnished Stars. This is Tarnished Stars. This is the current cover of Tarnished Stars. But when you go to my Goodreads page, see the cover for Red Velvet and Anemone with Tarnished Stars. So, yeah.
So what I did was I went ahead and put up the link in all of the chats because I've had good luck with getting in touch with the Goodreads Librarians Group, and they have specific rules on how you're supposed to tell them how to do things. I want to say negative something about that, but at the same time, these I believe are volunteers. So I don't want to say anything bad. You know, they're doing this because they can do it. Again, Goodreads, they don't update much. So that's part of the problem. If they would revamp their entire, system, things would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, you have to go through this group here to get anything changed on Goodreads. Like our stuff was put with Rachel Adams stuff. Now, Rachel Adams is a PhD and has a lot more credentials than I have and a lot more academic books than I have. So I was like, no, that's not mine, and this is not hers, and we need to figure this out. And so they did a good job that within a week they had everything straightened out. So unfortunately, if you put your books on, well, whether you want to or not, your books are going to be on Goodreads. Okay. So my big thing is I don't want to get involved with anything. I kind of tried. I touched a few of the groups and stuff, but I'm really not involved anymore because, like what Mama Maggie said, there's lots of drama. But if you want to make sure your books are correct on that platform, you got to get in touch with these people. So, and when it comes to BookBub, you do have to get in touch with people, but usually there's no problems. I've had one problem the whole time on BookBub. And then I got in touch with them and the next day they fixed it. Easy peasy. And I don't know anything about Storygraph. So if anybody knows more about Storygraph, please let me know. I do understand that there's a fee involved, but it is a owned business that just recently merged with some of the other bookish reading stuff. I'm gonna have to look that up though, because I don't want to report on anything that I'm not really sure about. I just know that it's gotten big enough that it's now merged with something else. So I'll look that up for you while we go on. Is there anybody else? Let's see. Here we go. Ava said, I think it's the Storygraph. If you look at it, I have only used it as a reader. I didn't pay anything. I added indie books myself though, because so many weren't there. Okay.
I've used Storygraph and I like it a lot better than Goodreads. It's less drama. Let's just go with drama. I mean, you can still like follow people that you're friends with and like follow reading challenges, and you can like put up your TBR and like we've been reading and things. But I feel like it's a lot less spammy than Goodreads, and it works. Like the whole system, I feel like it works better as far as like speed and graphics and easy to maneuver, search, whatever that word is I'm trying to say.
I don't see any spectacular announcements on their front page. I know I saw it though. I'm just gonna have to look it up. That they did merge with somebody else, or they've got an agreement with somebody else to help out. Research on the fly, y'all. Kobo. They have a sync program with Kobo Reading Progress. Starting June 2026, you'll be able to connect your Kobo account to Storygraph and have your reading progress sync automatically. No more manual updates. So that's kind of cool. They are basically known for leaving the Zon out of things, and they're going to continue apparently to leave the Zon out of things. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Well, speaking about the Zon and things like that, the indie publishing world got a little smaller this month. And very, very interesting developments with Draft to Digital.
Ugh.
And I put
All
it,
right. I'm so sorry.
I put it on my Substack blog. I did the math. I did some research, did the math.
Did you share
And
in
oh,
chat?
I can pull the Substack link. Yeah. And I want to know what you guys think of basically Draft to Digital becoming a subscription service for small indie authors.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Like, I have my books on there, and I only put my books on there to like put on an Apple or to put it on like the library services. In the last, I don't know, year and a half, I've made maybe $10 and some odd cents. So the fact that if you don't make a certain amount, I think it's like $100.
$100.
If you don't make $100, then they charge you $12 a year. And any new accounts, like if you're getting on Direct Digital for the first time, it's still $12 right off the bat. Or so I don't get it. Like, it's only $12, but the fact that like if you have your books in the library, it's only like 40 to 80 cents per checkout. So unless your books are like really popular wherever they can, and most indie authors don't have an unending source of income. And apparently I'm a little more annoyed about it than I thought it was. So thanks for bringing it up.
Okay, look, so same thing. I went off. James could tell you. I was like, are you serious right now? Because this is a money grab. This is not. I understand the front side. I understand, like, if you're opening an account and you're trying and people are trying to limit you on your account situation so that you don't upload book after book after book after book, right? But the secondary $12 per year, that's a complete money grab right there. So I'm like,
Catpot in the comment says it's $100 in revenue, not just sales.
$100. It's $100 in sales profit. Is the way it's worded. So, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, so you know me, I'm all about the math. Maggie's got to do the math. They're saying it's to stop AI written book. The AIpreneurs, which, you know, there's, what is it? There's several. I'm sure that all of you on YouTube have seen the things for like earn money on Amazon using AI writing tools to create a digital product.
I have to write something down on that.
The thing is these platforms are already adjusting for this Amazon policy change. So what they're on Draft to Digital, the thing is it doesn't account for the fact that these AIpreneurs, they have no problem paying the $20 new business fee. And because of the way they work, and also there's the whole thing of Barnes & Noble CEO saying he would sell AI slop as long as people say it's AI slop. The problem is, like, you pay the $20, and then that person can drop 10 books a week written by AI. Now, to create an AI book, you can do this in 2 to 3 hours. Whereas those of us here that are real writers, we spend years, months or years doing this. So AIpreneur drops 10 books a week for 10 weeks, and they just let it roll because they don't care if it succeeds or not. If they only sell 5 copies of each of the 100 books with a $1 royalty, the account holder has then earned $480 and is therefore, they don't have to pay the subscription fee. And an AIpreneur can run accounts in different genres. And that's what these AIpreneur programs encourage is letting the AI do the work and then publishing these books and having romance books and having fantasy books and having nonfiction books, self-help or craft. You know, they'll have 5 or 6 different genre accounts. Meanwhile, indie authors We spend hundreds of hours, hundreds of dollars just for one book, and may upload, for people who don't fast publish, 1 to 4 books a year is the average. And these are not people that are fast publishing. These are people with a backlog that they are then publishing. So now they are paying $20 to start their account plus $12 a year. And it converts the entire system in a slant that is in favor of the AIpreneur writers versus the real indie authors. Because your first 2 years on Draft to Digital is now $32. And this is the thing that sucks the most, is the average indie book only sells 12 to 80 copies lifetime. So even if you hit that lifetime sales mark, you still don't make enough to skip the fee for 1 year. And you have to pay that fee every year that you have any books on Draft to Digital. So Draft to Digital has become a subscription service in their new business model.
So you just have to figure out whether it's worth it or not for you, because it's like they've got a lot of the stuff that is automatic instead of manual. But you can use like books to read. You can use that manually. You don't have to have it through Draft to Digital to use that service. It's just a little extra work on your end if you decide to do that. I'm in the middle of transitioning. All of my print books are gone from Draft to Digital at this point because I wasn't really selling many anyway.
Right.
They're going to Ingram Spark because because you can set them up and just do skewed copies instead of using the ISBN. And so I'm going to take everything off of Draft to Digital, which has already started that process. I'm going to wait a month or so that I know that it wipes it out of all of their platforms and stuff, and then re-up them for sale with their ISBNs through Ingram Spark. So, yeah, the thing is when we were doing our research by going around to different places who would buy our books and stock our books, they don't do anything with Draft to Digital. They do it with Ingram Spark. They don't recognize Draft to Digital, even though Draft to Digital is part of the Ingram Spark. I don't know what you would call it, aggregator when it comes to distribution. So all of them like Ingram Spark. So if they already know Ingram Spark, they're already familiar with Ingram Spark. And also, I just got my books in from Ingram Spark. I ordered a few from Amazon. I ordered a few from Ingram Spark, and the Ingram Spark covers look so much better. It's lighter. It's got more sharpness when it comes to the colors. So I was just really happy with that. So now I'm like,
paper quality.
The paper quality. To me, the paper quality is almost the same. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's either the same or probably like just the way that it feels. The cover itself feels. I'm just a fan of Ingram Spark, y'all. So that's going to be a thing. When it comes to the digital ones, that's going to take a little bit longer, which means that I am going to have to pay them the $12 this year until I can get everything switched over. But Ingram Spark has the same platforms as everybody else. They aggregate to everybody just like Draft to Digital does. So I know some people are talking about staying with Draft to Digital for the ebooks. But to me, I'm like, well, that's just one more platform that I have to keep up with. So I'd rather just go ahead and move all of it over. And since I'm not doing any events in June, it might just be the best time for us to do that. Just move everything over. And then there you go. So but I've also got my own stuff. So that's a little bit of a difference. I already set my stuff up through Fourth Wall. So if there's anybody that I run across that sees one of my ads for Pride, then they can get those digital copies from me through BookFunnel and Fourth Wall. So I don't have to worry about, not having it out there at all. It will be there available for somebody while the transition is taking place. So I would make sure that if you're going to transition from draft to digital to Ingram Spark or wherever you want to go, um, then you make sure that you also have that direct line available so that you don't lose sales.
So, and because of things people need to be aware, you cannot just like, if you have an ISBN registered with one platform, unless it's your personal ISBN, because these platforms do give you an assigned number. They do give you an AISBN, which is a slightly different number. You can't just like you can't take your Amazon ISBN and then put it on Ingram Spark or Draft to Digital. Does Ingram Spark offer the free ISBNs, or do you have to bring your own for writers that are
Yes.
looking at this shift?
Yes, they do. You can do your own or you can go through them. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing. It's just a different company. And that's what I was saying. It's like Draft to Digital actually uses their aggregation platform. It's literally you can actually see the imprint in the background is Ingram Spark or oh wait, what's it called? Lightning Source for print. So yeah, it's just a matter of that legality. That's the reason I've already taken all my print books off of Draft to Digital, and I'm waiting that whole month before I engage them on Ingram Spark because, like Maggie said, um, you can't have the same ISBN on two different platforms when it comes to print books. You have to be sure and wait because then they'll be like, oh, well, we already see this ISBN in use and you can't use that here. And so that's why I'm waiting the full month, maybe 2 months before I re-engage those. Now, when it comes to your digital books, if in case you weren't aware, that ISBN can be the same everywhere. I went ahead and purchased a package when we were first putting money into this business. I purchased a package of ISBNs for us. So, because the more you purchase, the less they cost. And I knew that I would have, like Maggie, tons of books once we got done with them. And I was like, okay, cool, we'll just do it this way. And so all of my digital books have my own ISBN on them. And that way I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's like, that's mine. Thank you. Mine. But if you can't, then you just have to make sure that when you're moving from one thing to another, it's not that big of a deal compared to print. They will catch you real quick. Because I accidentally did that with Amazon. I put the wrong ISBN on my print PDF, and they were like, "Hey, this is not our ISBN, or this is not the correct ISBN. This belongs to Draft to Digital." So
yeah, I typed in my ISBN, two numbers switched because the brain, and they were like, the ISBN on the file you have submitted is not the same as the ISBN on the book, and I was like, what? And I went back and looked and I was like, oh, I'm stupid. I'm having a special moment. Let me fix that. And the thing is it took like 2 weeks for me to figure out. I couldn't figure out why they wouldn't accept this file. And I finally got on with the help desk. And it just told me there was an error in my copy. It didn't tell me what it was. And so I got on with the help desk. He goes, oh yeah, the ISBN number is this and this. And then there was I had another issue of the, because Relic of Time War is a huge series. For some reason, I put number 6 instead of number 7 on the first page of which book of Relic of Time War it was, and that's what was catching. So the Amazon AI is funny about numbers.
Mm-hmm. So Inka says, I think the way they went about it is shitty, and I'm not a fan of the way it looks like a poor tax. But if they'd started out this way, nobody would care. Well, yeah, that's at least it would have been up front. That would have been the thing. It would have been up front, and people could have agreed to it and not agreed to it. I have another story about that. that recently happened. Actually, this is part of that sentiment right there. Okay, let me pull it back up. This sentiment right here is precisely why I no longer have subscriptions available. And the reason is because I went to all the work of putting our stuff up on these subscription sites that I bought into, that I thought, oh, these are great. These are great. And then once they get enough people on there, they start changing the rules. That is shitty. That, yeah, it is really, really annoying. See, if someone isn't making 100 profit, they shouldn't take any of that. But if they want to put a fee, take it from those earnings. Yes. Well, my thing is, like, it's only the little ones too. I feel
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
bad.
the thing is
only from
they
the little guys.
is okay. We have done all of the work. The indie authors have done all of the work, and they get a share. They not only do we pay for the printing, we pay for the digital uploads. Indie authors, that comes out of our pockets. They get a share of our royalties just for hosting the book. So we are already paying them a fee.
Right.
Plus, we're paying for everything else out of our sales. And that just makes our share of the sales even smaller. But now that they're charging this extra thing, they're like, oh, we're still paying you your royalties. We're not taking anything from your royalties. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Just admit that it's like living in a HOA when suddenly they're like, you have to pay $200 a month HOA fees, and then suddenly they're like, you have to pay $1,000 a month HOA fees. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. So also this hit me hard too, because once I realized that Liz was having problems, I was like, oh, wait, what? Because it should be abroad. But it makes me wonder, it's like they don't want, like she said, they don't want to deal with paying accounts abroad and dealing with different tax systems. Makes no sense. That shouldn't be tolerated. Well, that's why all of our books got screwed over on Vella. They didn't want to pay the different tax. Amazon, the richest company out there, didn't want to deal with all of the different rules and regulations when it came to putting subscription stuff across the board in different countries. So that's where they took it. They just went ahead and took it down. They'd rather take it down than deal with the headache, I guess. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were making decent, on that. I was able to pay for what, three of my book arts covers because of Vella. And then they took it down. There were a lot of people who were on Vella that were able to make enough money that they were actually quitting their jobs.
I was making about $150 a month on Vella and was super happy. And
but anyway,
but yeah,
to see if there was anything else we wanted to cover. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's very disheartening to see this, and we're all praying to goodness that like Ingram Spark and Barnes and Nobles and Amazon don't follow. I mean, everybody's watching Draft to Digital right now. They are watching this to see how much the authors will tolerate it. And so this is it's another one of those wait and see things that we're just going to have to see where
they had their specials. Like they have a year-end special, and they have a special like in July, I think. I've had a good sale on that, but not anymore. Yeah, it's like you can't get away from AI use, so I just opt out. Somebody was talking. Was it James? Was it you? Was talking about that somebody was asking, or was it Dawn? Someone was asking that they're like, oh, well, do you use this? Which AI program do you use? And we're like, they were like,
It was me.
what? Oh, it's you. Yeah. It's like, what? We
Yeah.
don't use the AI. What are you talking about? They're like, well, what program do you use? We just use Google Docs and we don't use the AI part. So
Yeah, I got asked. They were wondering what we use to help us write. I was like, we don't use anything to help us write. Well, yeah, but what do you use to help fill it? I was like, we don't use anything to help us fill it. We use our heads. It's like the only thing she uses is something that helps her edit a little bit after we write everything. I was like, but that's
Yeah.
just because suck at grammar, or at least I do.
Well, there's a lot of there's actually a thing going around, and I saw this and I laughed because I thought it was a meme, and then I talked to a couple teachers I know and our resident writer teacher, and turns out that like there's a lot of people under the age of 20 who are like, how can you write 50, 100,000 words without using AI to write you? And it just blows their mind.
that's what it brought up for
blows
me.
their mind that like we will. Where is it? Yep.
Like in this
That we will take one of these. That we will take one of these and fill
And
it up
write
with words, and then type it in and turn it into one of these, so we can edit it, and then turn it into one of these, so we can sell it, and not use generative AI for any of it.
Yeah, that's why when she said that, I was like, wait, what? Because that tells me that whoever she was talking to literally didn't realize that people wrote books without asking for help from AI. I was like,
without AI doing the dialogue, without AI doing the
and like Ava said,
research.
Someone told me they made a recipe from ChatGPT, and I sat there. It's gravy. You use AI for a gravy recipe? Yeah. Some people are, I would say, almost addicted to it. Like they can't do anything without asking, and I'm like, that's an addiction.
Yeah.
Oh, Maggie, look.
Hi, Jen. I hope
you
you're
doing,
out for
Jen?
this summer. I hope Jen's working on her degree, and I hope that she gets the summer off because yay, summer vacation.
Well, and it's sad that we were just talking about this with my daughter, because my oldest grandchild is going into high school, and she's like, oh yeah, they don't really pass or fail them right now until they get into high school. They just kind of look at their academics, and then they kind of they go more on the STAR tests and all that now. And when they get into the high school, that's when they really start holding them back. I was like, that's kind of sad,
Yeah.
I was like, you get all the way to high school, and if you can't read very well, that's when they start holding you back. Oh yeah, you're going to be 23 before you graduate high school because you couldn't read until you got into high school. That's sad.
I've gotten a lot of offers, believe me, and I'm just like, wait, what? No. Yeah. Large word counts seem monumental to younger people because they've been taught to rely so much on AI and other tech. With us, it's using our own mental muscles and using touch as an assist. Yeah.
Exactly, Jocelyn.
We've been doing it all this time. Now, so I've got a special one because Jack has always written and drawn in notebooks and stuff. I've got a notebook from back when he was in high school where he just doodled all over that thing, and he was going to throw it away, and I was like, no, Mom's keeping that.
I have totes of Ashley's art.
So yeah,
put back because the moms need it.
Mm-hmm. But moms and grandmas need it, right?
And also having to explain and, having people say that, oh, well, Frankenstein was AI. No, it wasn't.
Right.
Well,
No,
okay,
it
so
wasn't.
people think that we were alive during the Civil War sometimes, so it makes me wonder.
We were all born back in the 1900s. Are you
Oh my-
okay, Dawn? I broke Dawn. I broke Dawn.
Oh my
Yay, Jen!
Yay. Yeah, well, that's because, I was showing my grandson Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy over the weekend, and he's extremely fascinated because we're a whole family of readers. So he was extremely fascinated with the cantos. So we were going through them, and I was showing him how to read them. I was like, you have to read, that particular kind of writing a particular way. You can't just read it like you do everything else. So I was showing him how to read it. He's like, I'm gonna have to take this and show it to my friends. It's like, oh, I think you're gonna break your friends, but okay, good luck. I was like, you're gonna fry their little brain cells. I was like, you have fun with that.
My grandson is just starting school. I'm scared to see what he has to learn with the whole AI thing. I'm hoping to teach him to use his brain instead. It's scary because for me, I'm like, you guys got to learn how to use your brain because you're not always going to have this technology. But then I go back and I think, did my mom used to say that about calculators?
Well,
But I'm like, but this is different for me because I'm like looking at it going, but this is actually thought. This is a skill to write and to be able to process a thought that becomes a story. So that's why I'm like, you guys have to actually use your brain to do this. And more recently, even some of the tech bros are admitting it's like, yeah, you can use AI to make the more tedious portion of this process less tedious. However, it takes a creative mind to actually make a hit, to actually make something worthwhile. So I'm like, if I see hope at least on the horizon where that's concerned, because that's actually a quote from the creator of GTA. So he's like, I put it on my Instagram for everybody to see. It's like, look, you got to have creative minds.
A perfect example of where this is going awry is I'm a crafter. You all know I'm a crafter, and it took years for me to teach myself to crochet again after my stroke. And in the crochet spaces, there is this huge thing going on, and it's connected to Woobles. Everybody's seen the little Walmart Woobles packages where you get the yarn and the hook, and it's everything you need to make this little thing. And you scan the QR code on the back, and it gives you the directions. Well, recently it's come out that those are all AI. And if you go to Yarn Talk or Yarnstagram, where they have all the crochet stuff, you'll see all these pictures of these incredibly cute little things that are made, and you can get the PDF, you can buy the PDF to make the thing. The problem is people who are actual crafters are like, this pattern will not make this item. And here's why. And it turns out they are generating pictures that look like a little yarn teddy bear, little yarn butterfly, and it will create a PDF of instructions, and no person has actually made this thing before they publish it. And this is a huge thing. And the scary thing is we're seeing this in book spaces. We're seeing this in cooking spaces. We're seeing AI tell people that it's okay to take a steak, turn on your electric stove, and just lay the steak on the burner.
Yeah, we see AI a lot. We see the medical. They tried it in the medical field. They were trying to replace us with the AI, and they found that where it works in some instances, you really can't replace everybody in the medical field with an AI because you really can't do a good analysis or a good assessment with an AI on somebody that's sick because, how are they going to do all that? But they do come in handy in some situations, just not in all of them. But it's sad. Yeah, the movie industry, everything is going to AI, and you see it. And I don't know how some of these make it to where they do. We've gone to some of the movies, and I'm like, I swear this is written by AI, and whoever wrote it or whoever let it out should have been shot, and they must have been on drugs. So, because you go in there.
I mean, there's some really good movies by Stephen King, and we know he was on drugs for most of it. So, but
yeah, but these are bad drugs. These are really bad drugs. They were laced with like bleach or something. So, I'm like, stay away from the Drano. So,
oh no! Oh gosh, it's like when I ordered an ornament and got a flat image. I fell for that so hard. Oh god, yeah. Okay, so yeah, y'all be careful. Because I've done this too. Like you'll see this beautiful image, and you're like, "Oh, that's so cool! It would look so good in my pot out back, with all of the plants and stuff like this, and I can put it in there, and it'd be so cool." Well, it's 2D.
Yeah.
I was like,
no. They're also doing this with, they'll like sell you bulbs and plant seeds and stuff. Like hubby was looking at this iris that he wanted, and it was like black with like red veins in it. And it's so beautiful. You would love it. It's like a goth iris. It's like, and they were calling it like the black vampire iris or something. And he was like, ooh, he goes, let's get these for our garden. And I was looking at it. I'm like, that's not a real plant. That's an AI plant. And it's like I love the things like you go to order stuff, and like youngest wanted
you
to
can
order
color plants once they're cut, but that's
yeah.
yeah.
Youngest I wanted to order these ornaments for youngest that were cow print ornaments. They were little baby cows, like 3D printed resin cows. Mm-hmm. And I got looking at them and I was like, oh, those are so cute. But then I was like, why are they only at like 2 stars? I went down and started looking at the reviews. Turns out that they were just flat plastic prints of resin ornaments.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I remember this. That's one of the things. It's like there's a place for technology. There's a place for use. Like what we do when it comes to for me, I use ProWriting Aid and AutoCrit. Well, I use AutoCrit to help me with making sure that I've got the right comps for my process. Also, gives me suggestions for marketing. That's not changing my story. That's not doing anything to my story. Also, it'll tell me, hey, you've got this phrase is repeated several times throughout your book. So I can go back and I can fix it to what I want it to be, but not using that same phrase over and over again, because that's a drag, I'm sure, for a reader. The use of the word that, things like that. So it's a helpful thing. I still have editors. I still have beta readers. I still have alpha readers. I still have problems with my book. Even with all of that being used, I will still find things later on when I'm reading the book. I'm like, wait a minute,
yeah.
What? So you can definitely tell it is a human process, even with the use of that like non-generative AI part. So I'm like, and that's one of the things that I was telling, we were talking about the other night, and I had an epiphany because I'm slow. I admit I can be slow. So I was like, why the big push? Why the big push for the data centers? Considering we've been using this stuff. I've been using Grammarly and Word and stuff, and that has AI in it. We've been using GPS for years, and we never had to have all these data centers. So why is it that, because it's not just that people are using AI more these days. It's the fact that right now there are no regulations. It's a free for all, and they're wanting to do it really fast before the administration changes.
and they have to, because the current administration passing a thing saying that there are no regulations on AI and stuff. And the next administration, whichever way they lean, because this president cannot be elected again under the articles of the Constitution. It's honestly, as much surveillance as they're putting in, the AI is not for the AI is not for the public, but to watch the public. That's just. I'm in Colorado, where we literally have traffic cameras. We're turning into England with the amount of CCTV.
I don't mean to cut you off, Maggie, but I need to go because my kid just got home from her sleepover a little bit earlier than planned. So it's fine.
Hug the minion.
Thank you. It was a joint birthday party between two people that had birthdays close to each other. So I've been It's been quiet. Yay. She wasn't supposed to be here for another hour, so I apologize. So,
no problem.
But, thanks
Tell
for
her happy birthday.
I will. Thank you. Bye.
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 Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's like the people who are putting this in, like they sent a letter out telling all the farmers and ranchers that it happened in Kansas, and then it happened here in Colorado, telling us that we need to cut our water usage. And it's like, yeah, we know we're in a drought, but seeds and livestock don't work that way.
Kind of can't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, those that are unaware can be fooled by AI content. Yeah, I'm not going to go witch hunting. That's the other side of it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
Well, you saw my 2 months ago. I posted a thing about the neurodivergent writing cadence is very similar to the AI writing cadence, and so we all learn from the same classic sources. So it's not surprising we're training AI the way we're training toddlers.
Yeah, sadly.
Laymen outside the creative circle see AI so differently. Well, and a lot of them are using it to do things that are, what's the word? It's the tool-based stuff, it's like creating code. It's things that would be repetitive to them that they've got to redo over and over again. And so I don't know, it's a little bit different. And I understand where they see it as a tool completely. Then you come over in the creative space and you're like, wait, what? That's not what it was intended for. But people are trying to use it that way. So
yeah.
Like when they offer it on any photo site or Canva, I don't know what changes to make first.
Well, it's like, okay, so let me grab this. Okay, so this picture was run through Leonardo AI as a filter. This is my grandmother. Literally, I uploaded a picture of my grandmother with the cat Mimsy and a random tea set thing that I got off of Millennial Inheritance. There's a whole website about weird things I inherited from my parents. Called the Millennial Inheritance.
Like fun to look at.
And crazy things, but dozens of teacups. So I ran this through a filter, and it literally and because I had clicked the no human artist thing on it, I had to run like 110 derivations of the same cropped together, badly photoshopped in Paint image to get the one that I ended up using for my book cover. So this is AI filtered, so it's not a generative AI, but it falls in that gray area because it is transforming something from something else. Now, was this image used creating other human artists? Like images scraped from other human artists and from the internet? No, it wasn't.
That's another thing to remember.
It is obviously an AI image.
I wouldn't say it's obviously, because my brain is like, oh, that's cool. It looks like you used it. You used something and photo manipulated it. That's fine. And that's the thing. It's like that's where that gray area comes in. It's like, okay, so what isn't it? There's some people that are absolutely, and what kills me is like they'll use AI for everything else, but then they're like, no AI, absolutely no AI, period. And I'm just like, okay, where's the line, guys? Because some people
Well,
actually sell their stuff to companies that then can transform it. So there's that too.
I don't see that as a true AI. I see that as photo manipulation. So um, there's a difference
Yeah.
in like for
Yeah,
AI generated.
I don't
stuff.
use AI to write. I don't use AI to generate prompts. I don't use AI to generate dialogue. That blows my mind that people use. I'm like, do you not talk to people? Do you not? Am I the only one that goes and sits and listens to how other people talk so I can take notes on their speech style?
GPS only became available to the public around 25 years ago, not that long. Yeah, because I remember when we stopped using maps. And
Well,
Yeah, the Zennials and the Gen Zs have never been around it.
well, and I still swear GPS. The woman off of Google still tries to get me killed. So I I swear, every time I use Google, she's trying to get me killed. I use Waze because that one doesn't try to kill me. I swear she's on a vendetta, and I don't know what I did for her, but yeah.
I have to have my house number very, very visible because all of those apps take them to the property next door that's just a field. So, yeah.
She drives me into the worst places, and it's like, you're going here, and I look and I'm like, I don't think I need to go. No, you really need to turn. No, I don't need to turn there.
I don't need to drive through this neighborhood. I
Or
really.
She tries to drive me into the middle of construction that's off the end of a ramp that's going up into the middle of a construction that's building like a high rise road. You're going here. No, I'm not going there. It's not even finished yet. Why are you taking me up a road that's not even done? You're trying to kill me.
yeah, in this area, we've got a lot of construction and stuff. And so I'm like, yeah, we got to be careful, extra careful, because it'll see something that's not there anymore, or it'll see something that's not ever been there, but is coming later.
It'll see a rancher's track through a cow pasture and say, "Turn here." No.
Yeah. See, they need to put the right kind of GPS on mine, and then I could drive properly. They need the redneck one. Go 2 miles down, look for the red barn to the over there, and then you're going to turn that way and go a couple of more, yeah, and then over to the right of the big oak. You're going to look for the big tree with the white fence around it. Yeah, that's my kind of.
Yeah, it's like, don't give me a name of a road. Give me what's there.
Give me the landmarks.
Landmark driving, y'all. So yeah, I do not do witch hunting because I do not know what went into the work behind it. And so, I think that also there's a lot of people that are trying to overload us with negativity when it comes to things like that, and also just baiting. I've noticed and I don't know, y'all, a lot of y'all don't even go into Facebook groups and stuff anymore, but I do have some on my feed, and there will be somebody that posts a bunch of book covers, and they're immediately like, "So what do you think of my book covers?" And I'm like, "Sir,
honey,
you are trolling at this point."
It's like, please stop picking.
You want somebody to get ticked off at you. So it's both, it's sad but also hilarious in some ways, the way that people clutch their pearls when it comes to this too. I was like,
And the
I don't
thing is these are the same people that 5-10 years ago was like, this is going to make our lives so much easier.
Yeah, sometimes that's the case.
Well, and I like I said, I do admit AI does have a place and a purpose. It does have its uses. I just don't think it needs to be in every aspect of our lives. So that's the only thing I think it does. It's useful in some situations. I just think it's detrimental and
I
definitely dangerous in others.
I want the AI like Rosie from the Jetsons that will clean my house and go to the grocery. It's
Uh,
Shiley.
Shiley's like the pasted kitty. She's always pasted.
She just lays. She just lays on the lap and lays on the arm. She likes to lay on the arm better than the lap. Because if I have her in my lap and I start typing, she'll start doing this the pet me,
Mhm.
hold me,
Pet me,
pay
hold
attention
me.
to me. I'm like, I'm trying to type, leave me alone. No, no,
I was shocked to see the
no.
youngsters on the bus following along on GPS to know where to get
what?
off. Like, look out the window and learn to know where you're
Learn
at.
your neighborhood.
There's that too.
Yeah, the new bus driver that was training the last week of school at the school that's north of us dropped my neighbor's granddaughter at my door. And the girl was like, "This isn't my house." And she was like, "No, this is your house. Get off." And I walked out and I was like, "Hi,
You
why
don't
are
believe
you
the
here?"
kid?
And she's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. She didn't want to get off. And I'm like, that's because she belongs at that house. And I pointed south of me. And I was like, don't worry. I will take her home. I know her grandmother. I will take her home. And so, and the bus driver she was like, no, it says here. And I'm like, no. I said, you cannot believe the GPS here. You need to actually look at the mailboxes, look at the street numbers. And there's a reason that we keep big white numbers on all of our mailboxes out here. And so,
Remember, it's dumb.
Yes. I was laughing about that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I walked her home. It was fine. And then the next day, she almost dropped her at my driveway again and had to back the bus a quarter of a mile down our road to drop her at the right driveway. I mean, I was waiting. I had cookies made. I was waiting because it's like I told the bus driver, I'm like, if there's an early release, her grandmother will call and say to leave her at my house, and that's fine. Because I'm disabled, I don't leave unless I've got a doctor's appointment, but she'll like Facebook me. So, but no, it's crazy. Okay,
Hi,
we're
Margaret.
hi Margaret. We're at the end of the hour. Okay, real quick. Yep. One last topic. I know I have to go bake. My daughter is now on bed rest for her pregnancy. So I can see her messages. Her husband says she is not awake yet. So I have a little bit of time.
Okay.
Pride Month is starting. Oh, so many school districts with the summer reading programs, blacklisting and blocking Pride books and Pride authors. Go to the bookstore, go to your online purchaser, support these authors. They are being targeted in every place. Currently, my favorite Pride read is the Dragon Tasker series. Yay. With my friends. I also in Pagosa Cliffs have a long-term gay couple, which is actually the most stable couple in the entire series, other than my very elderly married couples. So please support community authors. This is the month that we push for them, but please support them all year round. Please. The whole book banning thing is getting out of hand. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Agreed. My most recent one, let me look it up real quick. I want to make sure I can give you guys a link. It was an anthology, actually. by LGBTQ authors, but also all the stories are the same. Now I'm trying to figure out where it went to. Um, it's called By the Way, B-I, The Way.
I like that.
I also just finished a
I
book
loved
called
several of those short stories in there. They are amazing because they don't just not just highlighting. They're not just highlighting LGBTQ plus. They are also highlighting people with disabilities having romantic relationships and muddling through the different situations that they wind up getting in. So um, I'm really trying to find it for y'all. I'm so sorry.
Okay, I just shared one. I just finished reading called Demon Undertaker, which is a mammal romance with a grief recovery message because the demon's love interest is a young man who lost the love of his life and is still grieving for him and is actually considering unaliving himself to be with him or selling his soul to resurrect his beloved. So I just finished Demon Undertaker, so there's a link for that one I just finished.
There it is. I only found it on Amazon. I'm so sorry. That may be where they distributed it, but I'll go ahead and put the link up there because the stories are worthwhile. But yeah, the Dragon Tasker series, we have all kinds of wonderful relationships in there. Poly, MFM, FM. You know, it's a little bit of everything. The main characters are a pansexual dragon and a gay man. So, and we did do our sensitivity research on that to be sure, but we also know lots of people in the lifestyle and BDSM and also in LGBTQIA corners of this country. So that's what we were also working off of. And we wrote these stories like in the late 90s, early 2000s. So you can't claim anything. Just say it. There we go.
And I have in Cat Lady the love interest.
This. Okay, great author. I enjoyed it. So I haven't read this one yet, but I want to. I've read some of the short stories and stuff that he's done. So it's like, I think it's a he. I'll just say they. They've done stuff that they've done.
I also have a military gay couple in Cat Lady because the brother and his boyfriend. Because who doesn't love a sexy gay couple?
Yeah. That's one of the things. Like people are like, well, how come you write stuff like this? Like, because I'm bi. I want to write stuff like this too. Thank you. Yes. All right. So, on that note, oh wait, let's see. We have some more down here that just popped up.
I'm just spamming. I'm spamming book links.
He and they work for Cheshire. Okay, thank you. Because I was just like, I don't know. And also, speaking of, if I mislabel you, please just let me know. I don't have a problem with that. I have a queer son and a bi son, and I'm bi, and I understand that when you're dealing with identities and stuff, it can get thrown around, especially from people like us who are on a screen somewhere. So just let us know. We don't mind.
I've got the full. I've got the full.
Name you right.
I've got the full deck. I've got the straight daughter, the ace daughter, and the I love everyone daughter. So it's the smallness of limiting who people love is Let me drag my soapbox over here.
Okay, so let's see. Let me write this down because I don't want to miss it. A.D. Dennis. The Tin Lion. Is it the Tin Lion or Tin Lion? Just Tin Lion. You'll have to make sure that we get the information again. Because I usually post ads for everybody like crazy. I like making sure that everybody gets their attention. And there is a Morgan. I see a Morgan.
Okay.
This is my name. Hello, good morning.
Congrats.
Is it Gina Dennis? Yes, Tin Lion by Gina Dennis.
Okay. Spell the first name.
Jinna. Hold on, I'm pulling up the Goodreads or the Good Novel profile.
Thanks.
Okay, here we go. There we go. There's the link. Dumb mama with all the links.
Woohoo! All
That is my
right.
thing.
If you guys will send links to me, that way I can toss them on the description on the back end of this. I had to do that with Stephanie. I wanted to make sure that I got all of her links.
Okay, that is not the same person.
Copy. All right, there we go. But we are getting to a point now where I need to log off, and I know that Maggie's going to have to go.
Yeah, the youngest daughter. Thank you everyone for the well wishes for her. She, her pregnancy is, we start the 8th month started yesterday. So she's at 8 months now, but she has been, because of her POTS, she is now on, it's looking like she's going to be on bed rest for the rest they're putting her on bed rest for a week to see how she does, if things settle down. So yeah, we're doing some major rearranging. I'm going to go make chocolate chip pancakes for my grandbabe because she's only 3 pounds and 10 ounces right now, and we need to get her to be a little bit of a bigger baby. So yeah. The request is chocolate chip pancakes with peanut butter maple syrup spread.
Yum. See, as Morgan's like,
I'm not making that for you. You're out of luck.
Dude, did you need a plate, Morgan? I can make you one and say, okay, all right. I'll make you a stack.
No.
And you wouldn't share it with the kids, would you? You'd be like, these are mine.
They're not even here.
They're not there, so you don't have to worry about it.
You're not getting that.
All right.
I also made orange cranberry muffins this week with the honey glazing that I know.
I love that. That sounds
Rachel
really
likes. And I was thinking about you while I was making them. I was thinking about you while I was making them.
All right, y'all. I'm going to be going into sprints at 12:45. Just giving myself a break, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks for showing up, and we will be back hopefully next week. And Sam will be on her channel.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.